Francis, by the way, beautiful job shooting the movie. I thought it was unbelievable. I'm sorry to follow that with such a goofy question, but I had all these serious questions written down, and I saw you on Fallon last night make a reference to how awkward the kissing scenes were in the film because they said you would chew garlic and onions before the kiss. I don't know if there's any truth behind that.
Smell. I wouldn't say that. I just didn't think so much about the kissing, so I would just kind of eat whatever it was that I wanted to eat.
She'd tell me what she ate, and then
I think that
usually
the
it was
onions you're
something
referring
horrible.
to was just,
They
I
were
just had a
shallots.
sandwich with mustard and raw onion.
well, no, she'd say it, but then she's like, and I didn't brush my teeth. So,
It's just a fair warning.
A serious question for you real quick. I love the line that Julianne Moore says in the movie. He says, there's no progress without compromise. And I thought that was, there's no progress without compromise. I think it's a brilliant line. I'm wondering for you as actors in this business, how does that apply to you as an actor and taking on movies and having compromises in your own lives?
I mean, I think it's there's not even progressing. There's no life without compromise. I think in everything you do, there's some sort of compromise. Boy, I mean, I think that for us personally, there's a fairly large sacrifice or compromise that happens with public attention or with a loss of anonymity when you go somewhere. But I don't know. What do you think, Jen?
I mean, the easiest way to say it.
I think you should never compromise your passion.
No.
Hi, guys.
Space.
Awesome movie, first off. Thank you so much for giving it to us. Just amazing. If we could go down the road, Liam, Jennifer, Josh, what quality does your character have that you wish you had, that you don't have, and why?
He's a pretty brave guy. I would consider myself brave in some ways, but I think he acts impulsively and instinctively a lot. And I don't know, I guess you'd like to think and hope that you would act that bravely in that kind of situation, but I don't know, I haven't had to fight a war, so bravery.
Jennifer?
It's pretty much the
Yeah.
same, yeah.
I'd say that that's the same. All of us, right? No?
Yeah, I guess
Uncompromisingly
yes.
bravery?
Yeah, I mean, I think, for me, I don't know what I would be like going through what Peter goes through, being tortured and brainwashed and everything, but I think that he fights his way back with the help of others and support of others, so his ability to fight through extremely adverse challenges, I think, is something that I admire.
You're definitely
and I
not
haven't
that good of a
faced yet.
baker.
I'm not that good of a baker. That's another quality. That's true. That's a good point. Baking is the quality that I wish I possessed.
I do too.
My first job was a baker. I used to make bread.
There'll be so
We
many
should've
random
changed
things.
roles.
Where, like, I was like flipping through a magazine the other day, and he was like, "I used to lay those kind of floors." It's like you've lived for 100 years.
I'm an old soul.
Hi, Josh. I can't help but think it was like 6 years ago, and I was talking to you about the Journey to the Center of the Earth. And now my little 14-year-old niece is, all she can think about is having your poster up on her wall with an autograph or something. How has it been for you and for Jennifer to sort of realize your dreams here? And is success everything for both of you that you expected or thought it would be?
Well, how do I say this without sounding like a total idiot? I never had a plan or a goal. I've never really been a goal-oriented person in my life. So the idea of having success or being in a movie like this was never part of my plan, so to speak. My plan was always just to make interesting movies and work with interesting people and tell stories, and this fell into that category. So I kind of happened into this whole world just through my normal way of finding projects. But it's been a big change. Jen says that when she was offered the role, she had a few days to think about it because she knew how much of a change it would be. I didn't really think about it at all. I just knew that I loved the script, loved the story, and loved all the people involved. And so for me, I was just like, yes. And then later was like, oh my God, this is a big life change. But it's like one of those things where until you lose it, you don't know how important it is, or you can't really put a value on it. And by it, I mean anonymity. And once you lose that, and every restaurant you go into, people recognize you, and all of a sudden you know that they know so many things about your life, true and not true. And it's very like exposed. You feel very exposed everywhere you go, and it's a hard thing to wrap your head around, and was never really a plan that I had in place for my life whatsoever.
Yeah, it's certainly a blessed life, but there are also sacrifices. But I get to do what I love, and there's a downside to every job.
I think for me, it's like we have such great friendships and relationships, especially the three of us, that we came up in this together from the beginning, you know, and we kind of experienced this massive change as one, and there's not many people you can kind of relate to about this issue, and the fact that the three of us are so close, and we kind of all grew up in this sort of craziness together, I think helps a lot with us maintaining our sanity, more or less.
But can I talk about Josh though, just because I did know him, and and in my estimation and my experience of him, he hasn't changed at all. He was how old were you, 16?
16, yeah.
But as a 16-year-old, he was exceptionally articulate and talented and had drive about what he wanted to achieve personally, the kind of work that he wanted to do. He'd already accomplished a tremendous amount. I realized that because I'd seen all of his movies with my kids when he was a child actor. So I don't see, what was great for me was to see this person who had grown up considerably, but whose personality and work ethic and everything had remained intact. So I think, from in my view, it's been handled really gracefully by all of them.